everyone, Hunter here for Avengers Infinity War. Here on today, we're gonna do Infinity Wars. Here's David.
I am small.
What? That's really the best you can come up with.
I am small.
Really? I am. Give me the hat back.
I am small.
Hi, this is Hunter, David, Forever Little Studios. You know the drill. Moving on. We're gonna review Infinity Wars.
Yeah, that was his idea.
Yeah, I thought it'd be funny, but he was all, I'm small.
I'm small. You are small.
Sit up straight for a second. Looks like I'm taller.
Yeah, your chair's like a whole 2 inches ahead.
There, is that better?
Okay then. So welcome to this already wacky video. As in the title,
wacky, I guess.
Yeah. As in the title, we're going to be doing a review on Infinity War.
Yeah, you need to work on your camera placement.
Yeah. Should we restart because the doggo is barking?
Nah, it's fine. Just keep rolling with it.
Okay.
Shush, doggo!
I apologize for the doggo. So as in the title, we said that we're going to be doing a Infinity War review. Mm-hmm. So, as of this video, we've seen it twice.
Yep.
We just got back from seeing the second time.
Yeah, we saw it the Thursday night when it came out and everything.
I saw it Saturday.
Didn't really get a chance. So what? You saw it.
I saw it Saturday.
Yeah, that's why we wanted to review it sooner, but he saw it on Saturday. I saw it on Thursday.
I made a promise to Aiden that I would not see the movie until he got there.
Yeah.
So on his birthday, Saturday, we saw the movie.
Yeah. So long story short, we've both seen it twice now, and we are ready to review it.
Yes.
I'm going to put your camera down slightly too. My goodness, can't you do proper framing? Can't figure out how this tripod.
Okay then.
Okay, much better.
So again, we've seen it twice. The first time we went, we were, just trying to see how the movie was. Mm-hmm. But the second time, we actually were able to, adjust to the movie. We knew what was going to happen, and we could kind of spot out Easter eggs.
Yeah, see all the little subtle touches and stuff.
Yeah.
Which there were a lot. I mean, aside from just straight up Easter eggs, there were just a lot of very subtle little details you really don't notice at all first time around, but just kind of add to another little layer of complexity to it on the second viewing. So before we get into the spoiler stuff, just a real quick summary, and I mean real quick, just, how many stars out of 10, what was your overall opinion?
So 1 out of 10, I would say.
1 to 10, yeah. I'm
going to give it a 10. That might sound high.
I thought you gave it like a 9.
Oh, yeah, I did. It was like 9.5.
It's up there. It was a really good movie.
It's close to 10. It's close to 10.
I don't know if I would go quite as high as a 9. I would say maybe 8, maybe 8.5. Because there were a couple of times when the movie was, well, basically, let's just say complicated. It was very, 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 very dense.
Especially at the first time seeing it, first time seeing it, you're going to be confused at a few spots.
Yeah, some stuff, it's like, you got a bunch of other stuff on your mind, so you don't really pick up on some of this other stuff. It's just a lot of back and forth, a lot of interlaced stuff.
Yeah, because there's a lot of storylines going at one time.
Yeah. I mean, aside from just storylines, just the different things affecting different things, it's just a lot to take in all in one go. So it really, it's one of those that you kind of have to see it a second time to really pick up on everything.
Because, again, this movie does have the most amount of superheroes and characters and all of that.
Pretty redonkulous.
Yes. So... But I would give it a 9.5. As much as I like the movie, I still say the first Avengers movie is my favorite.
Yeah, well, I mean, the first Avengers movie, it's gonna have a special place in everyone's heart because when it's the first time you've seen something that's literally never been seen before, it's gonna be pretty special. But
if I had one chance to erase my memory of one movie to rewatch one time for the first time, I would choose Avengers. Because I would love to just rewatch Avengers.
Of course, then remembering watching this movie wouldn't make a lot of sense. Yeah. So, but I will say, even especially as the original Avengers was, I would say this one did a fantastic job of. Well, not technically capping off the series, but being a point what everything is leading up to, even though it's still going to lead up to just a little bit higher with the other one, blah, 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 blah. But dang, it is just so many payoffs and very worth it. So
just this weekend, it already surpassed the highest weekend box office.
It's like box office. What box office? All I see is a pile of rubble.
Yeah.
So yeah. If you don't want to hear anything else, yes, very, very highly recommend it.
Oh yeah.
Even if you're not 100% familiar with everything and every little nuance aspect of every single thing everywhere, it's still worth seeing.
Oh yeah.
And just the way the stuff is pulled off and how bold they were with a lot of the decisions that went into it was really, really phenomenal. So I would very highly recommend you see it.
I didn't want to give it too much hype before the movie because I was afraid if I gave it too much hype that if it wasn't as high as my expectations had it, I wouldn't enjoy it as much. But oh my goodness, did it surpass my excitement for the movie.
Yeah, I was very, especially after Age of Ultron was just kind of...
it was way better than Age of Ultron. Blew it out of the water. Like, it...
So yeah. So if you don't want to hear anything else, yes, go see it. Really good. Yeah. All the thumbs. Well, maybe one or two, but that's. I'm basically just.
I give it 2.5.
You give it like 2 9/10. So anyway, yes, go see it. Yeah. Now, full on spoiler territory. So
just now, our whole point of the movie, liked it. I give it a 9.5. He gave it an 8 or 8.5.
Yeah, something like that.
So definitely go check it if you don't want to hear any spoilers. But for all the people who have seen it and want to hear our review on it, spoilers away.
Okay.
So don't blame us in the comments if you hear spoilers. This is your fault.
Final warning.
Yes.
Back out now.
Don't want to hear spoilers?
If you're still here and you're okay with the spoilers, let's just assume that you've probably already seen the movie, so we can skip over the synopsis and all that. I think we should just talk more specifically just what you really liked about it, what you thought was less good about it, and just kind of see how we got going. So
I really like the characters. Some outweighed some other characters. There's some James and I were talking about this where some characters outweighed some other ones. Like a lot of the Guardians of the Galaxy in the movie, not all of them got a lot of spotlight as much as you would think. Because in my opinion, the main Guardians that actually had a full on main character essence or something like that, where you're focusing more on them in the story, was Gamora.
Well, yeah.
And my opinion, Rocket, just because of the whole.
Oh yeah, the whole thing of Thor and all that.
Yeah. Those are the main two, in my opinion. That
the rest of the Guardians were mostly just. I will admit they were just kind of there. I mean, they did their Guardians thing. They were funny and all that.
Yeah, they were good, but not. They were good in the movie. It's just not as.
Hunter, my gosh, man! What was that? What?
I'm so. My brain hurts. Hopefully that wasn't on camera.
Hopefully you didn't just hear Hunter's massive fart.
What? That was not me. That was you.
It was totally you. Well, sorry. You can edit this, right?
No.
Oh well. Moving on.
So, So
I'm sorry. I've eaten a lot of popcorn today.
A lot. Also tacos.
Moving on.
So not all the Guardians and not all the characters got as much as you would expect or you wanted, but they were there. They did have their moments in the movie. It's just it's just not as focused. Like Gamora was, I would say, a bigger part of the movie.
I have mastered the ability of standing so still that I'm no longer visible. My movements are so slow that they're imperceptible. Crunch.
Then Mantis just shows up. Hi, Drax.
Dang it.
That was amusing. Drax is always amusing.
Oh yeah. Again, not a humongous role, but all that, but they were there and they did their thing. So,
but Gamora definitely was a one bigger role, although she wasn't in the movie for too long.
Yeah. Okay, actually, Gamora that was one of my biggest issues with the movie. Because the whole scene with Gamora and Thanos and where he has to kill her and all that is a super emotional scene from Thanos' point of view and everything, right? But it really kind of bugged me how he's all like, "You must give something you love," and she's just all like, "Ha! sucks to be you. You don't love anything. And it's like, Gamora, honey, don't you, the tears going down his face. Can't you get a clue that maybe you're about to die?
Try running.
She's just like, ha ha, in your face, in your face.
Try
His
running.
tears are not for you. Ha ha, in your... Oh, jeez, I'm stupid.
Yeah, she
So,
wasn't catching on.
Just the way she reacted to that scene was like, I think she would have caught on at least a little bit, but...
Yeah. Oh, and the whole Soul Stone, yeah, our theories went down the drain. That nowhere near what we thought.
Yeah, wasn't
Heimdall.
Wasn't Heimdall.
Wasn't in Wakanda. Wasn't even on Earth. Wasn't even on Earth.
Yeah, it's like, okay, here's all your theories and assumptions, all that, and here, over from here in left field, that's where they were actually pulling this from. Bleh!
The whole thing was Snoke. Everyone was theorizing everything but Snoke, and then you saw the movie, and you're like, yeah,
well,
here's your theories.
Well, that though, it wasn't even that they went and, brought in a theory from left field. It was just like, nah, we're just gonna get rid of those, and we don't actually have much to show for it either. So,
but the Soul Stone, we were really wrong.
So yeah, but yeah, admittedly, a very cool scene aside from Gamora's cluelessness, which kind of just like.
So, as you guys know about the stones, the stones that everyone knew was Time Stone was on Earth, and so was the Mind Stone.
Why are we recapping?
Just to let them know where everything was at the time of this movie.
Oh yeah. Okay, so Time Stone with Doctor Strange.
Mind Stone.
The Mind Stone with Vision. The Power Stone with Xandar.
Didn't even show getting destroyed or anything like that.
Xandar was decimated.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving on then.
Yeah. Basically, at the start of the movie, Thanos already has the Power Stone.
Yeah. And Thor's like, yeah, last week Xandar got decimated.
Yeah.
I'm not really gonna dwell on that or elucidate all. It's just like, yeah, Xandar got decimated. Don't worry about it. They were extras anyway.
So at the beginning of the movie, those are the 3 stones. Then the Reality Stone is at nowhere. Still with
the Collector guy, yada yada.
Then there's the Space Stone, which Loki has, which we all knew.
It from Asgard, yada yada yada.
And then there's
finally the Soul Stone. Now, what was the name of the planet that they were on for the Soul Stone? Vormir.
That's what it is.
I've got to say that Vormir as a planet, especially before they go up the thing and there's the water and the sand and everything,
and the eclipse in the background.
Yeah, exactly. Vormir is probably one of the single prettiest locations to come out of the MCU thus far. It was just nice to look at.
Mm-hmm. It was dark.
Oh yeah,
it was pretty to look at.
Because
it had this eclipse in the background.
The eclipse thing going, the reflection off of the water, and the alternating pattern.
The sand didn't even look like sand.
Yeah, and the kind of purpley hue that it had, it looked really nice. I loved the way that was composed.
Oh yeah.
I just wish that Gamora hadn't been so odd all of a sudden.
And
I'm sorry, I hate to come back to that, but it's just the way they depicted her in that scene was just all of a sudden she turned into a ditzy redhead. Mm-hmm. No offense to any redhead viewers out there. You're totally not ditzy. Trust me. I'm sure you're totally normal people.
Okay then.
And actually do have a soul. What?
Oh. Okay, moving on.
Moving on.
So, the one cool thing about that scene is they brought a character back.
Yeah.
That we've been waiting since the first phase.
I told you so. I told you so. I told you so. I told you so.
I knew he was alive.
I have been saying since day one. Since Captain America, everybody assumed Red Skull picks up the cube. Dead. And he's just like, dead.
Everyone's saying dead.
I kind of assumed, actually, at the end of the Avengers, when Thanos turns his head around and you see his face, I kind of assumed that was Red Skull at first, because I'd never heard of Thanos before. I was like, is it Red Skull?
Yeah, and then later on, months later, I told you, yeah, that's Thanos.
It's like, what?
Yeah,
What's a Thanos?
But yeah, so
Red Skull. Yeah, he's
knew it.
He's basically Lady Death now, I guess.
Well,
or at least
he was cursed. He wasn't deaf.
Well, yeah, but his whole visage is supposed to look very, very similar to. I do have to wonder if we're actually gonna be delving into the cosmic entities side of things in the sequel.
Kevin Feige did say after either this Avengers movie or the next that a lot of the movies are going to be based on cosmic things. Most of the movie types are going to be cosmic.
Well, we'll see what they do with that.
Yeah.
Because I must admit, it would be a really cool way to open the next movie with like showing right after all. Oh yeah, spoiler alert again. Thanos kills half of everybody.
Mm-hmm. Half universe. Literally, like that. He does the famous snap of his fingers, which was cool. People were expecting that.
Killing everybody.
And after he did the snap, his arm was messed up.
Yeah, the gauntlet is toast. The gems are like they aren't glowing as brightly. And his entire arm, even up the side of his neck, is just covered with burns and welts and stuff. It's like, dang.
Yeah.
That had to hurt.
Yeah. This kind of makes sense, being he used all the power at once.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And brief speculation. Right after he does the snap thing, he goes to a little cutscene where there's Gamora as a child, and they're sitting in this big lake thing, and the sky is kind of orangey colored.
Yeah.
And she's all like, "Oh, did you do it?" "Yes." "What did it cost you?" "Everything." And then it cuts back. So it's just kind of an odd little scene, just in the middle of this highly dramatic moment.
Yeah.
But it occurred to us after the fact.
The background was orange.
The background was orange. She's already dead. So why would he just suddenly be?
And plus, he's all healed up.
He's
all healed up. There's no scarring, no Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah.
No, nothing. Just normal.
Yeah, he looks normal. So what we're speculating is that Gamora, almost certainly, what we were shown there is the inside of the Soul Stone.
She's trapped inside the Soul Stone.
Specifically, the Soul Stone can absorb people's souls, and it contains them inside of it.
That's the whole purpose of the Soul Stone.
Yeah.
Is the only way you can have it is you have to give up a soul for a soul.
Mm-hmm. So I have to imagine that's what's going on with that. And again, if they're depending on how they handle it in the next movie, that's probably going to get delved into more. Oh, but anyway, you got me off track. I was going to say that it would be super cool to have the next movie open right in the aftermath of him snapping his fingers and all that, and then suddenly the camera pans way back, and then you see like these four figures hunched over, like I don't know, like a pool where they can look at stuff or something like that, and there's like a great imbalance now that he's done that or something, and like, oh, we need to intervene, and specifically the four figures being the four cosmic entities, Eternity, I can't remember their name, the space one, the life one, the death one, and the time one, whatever their names are. Forgive me for not knowing.
The four eternities or something.
Well, no, the four cosmic entities.
Cosmic, that's the one.
But specifically one of said cosmic entities being Lady Death. So I am kind of curious if she's going to be brought back in, or they're going to introduce her rather.
Because it would be because in the comics, Thanos and Lady Death,
they really hit it off.
Yeah, they fell in love.
Mm-hmm.
So did Deadpool and Lady Death. That was weird.
Yeah, and then Thanos got really jealous. But anyway, obviously they changed his motivation around a lot because they didn't really have time to explain the whole thing with Lady Death. Although they seemed like they were hinting at it at the end of the Avengers when they started to challenge the might of Earth is to court death. And he turns around just like
smile.
I'm gonna court death. Yeah. Death. She's hot.
She's the one. She know the way. That memes.
Please unsubscribe from him right now. He does not deserve any of you guys watching his video. Just go away right now. No. I'm sorry. We can't have YouTube anymore. Nope. I'm sorry. Anyway, moving on.
Memes.
What was I say it one more time? I'm gonna punch you in the nose. What was I saying?
You're saying the whole
cosmic entities. Death. It would be super cool if they have the cosmic entities and the whole thing with Lady Death. Yada 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 yada. I don't know how much they're actually gonna do it. It depends on a number of different things that they could try and pull off, I guess. And it's
one of those things that they could do, but if they don't, it's not the biggest.
Yeah. Well, and what Timothy specifically was saying was was wondering if there could be some kind of a connection with Adam Warlock and then like the Collector and whatnot, who have connections with actual cosmic beings or whatever.
Well, Collector and Grandmaster are brothers, and they're like one of the first beings in the universe.
Yeah, but they trying to remember exactly how they're somehow in the upper hierarchy of cosmic beings, even though they're depicted as just regular old guys in the movies.
Yeah.
So I'm curious if they end up doing anything with that.
But, and I was surprised not to see Adam Warlock. Now, I guess they are kind of saving that for Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Yeah,
they are making a Guardians of the Galaxy.
Except
3.
I'm pretty sure that he's gonna be in Infinity War too, isn't he? Adam Warlock.
He was a main character in the Infinity Gauntlet series.
Yeah, exactly. So it seems like it would be difficult not to have him in it.
Yeah, because he was like one of the main.
Well, it seems weird that they would build up to him in Guardians 2 like that if they weren't going to be using him in Infinity War. Yeah. So yeah, there's all kinds of speculation we can start doing on that. We might just do another video sometime for speculation about what could be Infinity
what Marvel
War 2.
Can do later on.
So let's get back to the topic on hand, the movie.
Again, like we were saying, that practically half of the universe is dead.
Literally half the universe is dead.
Yeah.
My gosh, that was an incredible scene.
Yeah.
Because, every other movie you've ever seen where a whole bunch of people are dying all at once, but any other movie where a bunch of people die at once, that they're gonna start doing the super sad wailing music as everybody dies. Yeah. But this was just utter silence.
No one had, like,
the entire
both times
thing.
I saw the movie, at that exact scene after he snapped his fingers, complete quiet.
Yeah, because up to that point, I went in a literally sold out theater, and people were just guffawing and laughing, or cheering, or making all kinds of different noises, making all kinds of different noises throughout the movie. It was actually kind of annoying because you couldn't hear half of the lines sometimes because they would be guffawing. But when you finally got to that scene, it was just
utter quietness.
You could hear a pin drop. It was stunning.
Yeah,
and just that. I think that's the one scene everyone's gonna remember more than anything else. Is just how shocking it was. And not only did they have everything roll together in one movie, but they actually hit the peak that soon, and it's just kind of just knocks you back, and you're like, whoa, they actually did that?
Yeah, I was expecting, I even said it before I saw the movie, I'm expecting a lot of the heroes to die. And I was not expecting as that high.
Well, you're expecting it to be death by, getting punched in the face or whatever.
Yeah.
Not just, okay, and you no longer exist.
Gone. No bodies, no nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing to even say you were there. You were just dust.
Yeah. That was something I was thinking about, was that, I bet you that pile of dust and stuff is just like, when he makes them cease to exist, it's like he just breaks apart all of their atoms into their individual pieces, and they just kind of crumble into dust.
That was... and the characters you were expecting to die survived.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you were expecting it to be Captain America and Thor and
Iron Man, all these characters.
But no, it's all these new people. And Spider-Man!
Spider-Man took the longest to die.
I must admit, when I first saw it, I was just as shocked and appalled as anybody. But and even as it was playing, it was like, what? Not I literally thought, not Spider-Man.
Yeah, he turned to dust too.
And it was legitimately hard to watch through that bit the second time, because I knew it was coming, and it's like, oh, no, it's gonna be Spider. I didn't cry. I do not cry at movies.
Braden did cry at that scene.
Wow.
I didn't cry throughout the movie. I was close at one scene.
I think I heard Timothy choking up a little bit, honestly.
I was choking up at the one scene with Iron Man getting, the thing stabbed in him, which we'll talk about in a second.
Yeah. That wasn't that sad.
The whole fight with him?
Well, yeah, but
I'm an Iron Man fan. Boom, 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 boom.
Yes, I can see that you have many posters, but
Iron
nobody
Man
else
is
can
my
see
favorite.
it as the camera's not moving, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Iron Man is my favorite.
So you were like really worried that he was about to die, kind of a thing?
Yeah, because it was him versus Thanos. Thanos with all with 4 stones.
Yeah, I
He
would
took
like
the moon at Iron Man.
Yeah, I would like to point out
That was
though
me.
that Iron Man was the only person aside from Thor with his giant axe and everything. He was the only person who was actually able to go toe to toe and actually hurt him.
Yeah.
You know,
Drop of blood.
all that effort for a drop of blood. Here, I'll wipe out your face. Yeah, how you feel now?
Yeah, there was literally only 2 characters in the whole movie who actually did toe to toe with him and actually had an effect.
Mm-hmm.
And that being Thor and Iron Man.
Well, and the group of them, they almost got
yeah.
him, but now actually kind of on the whole thing with Iron Man getting stabbed and all that. Yeah, boo-hoo, he's gonna die even though he didn't.
I was worried.
But
the second time
one thing in particular I want to address. I've heard a lot of people saying, why did Doctor Strange give up the Time Stone?
There's a reason.
Because I've heard so many people say, "Oh, that was so out of character. Oh, it wasn't worth it. How could he do that when he knew it wouldn't be worth the sacrifice?" Blah 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 blah.
He even says it earlier in the movie. He's like,
yeah, but
if I'm supposed to choose between you, the kid, or the Time Stone, I'm taking the Time Stone.
Exactly. So it's like, why the heck would he do that so readily? But if you actually watch the movie, it's fairly evident that he actually does know what he's doing. Specifically, the whole bit where he looks into the future. Oh, there's like 20 bazillion futures where we all die.
14,605 possibilities.
Thank you for that. And only one of them we can win.
Actually win.
And so he then gives him the stone, and he's like, and then right before he disappears, he's like, Tony, it was the only way. So obviously he really didn't want to give him the stone.
But that was literally the only
he'd
way.
already seen the future. And he knew that he had to give him the stone, and that he himself was going to die, but that there was no other way for them to do it.
Because if he didn't give him the stone, Iron Man would have died. Thanos would have killed him. Doctor Strange would have died eventually because Thanos would have taken the stone and killed him.
Mm-hmm. Well, this actually kind of comes around to one more minor nitpick I have, is the fact that we have, let me think, 1, 2, 3, or possibly 4. We have a whole bunch of scenes where basically the exact same thing plays out. Give me the thing, or you will lose this other thing.
Yeah.
Give me the stone, or I'll kill your brother. Give me the stone, or I'll kill Iron Man. Give me the stone, or I kill your sister. Give me the stone. Oh, I guess I have to kill you. So it's all of these having to choose between keeping him from having the stone or sacrificing thing, and it's like...
And the beginning part of the movie is literally Thanos aboard the Asgardian ship.
Yeah.
With half of the Asgardians dead.
Yeah, I want to know if Korg's still alive.
I want him alive. Korg was the best.
And Meek. Korg and Meek. Can we have them come back in the next one,
I don't care about Valkyrie. I need Korg.
Yeah, Valkyrie sucks. We need Korg. Bring back Korg. Hashtag Korg for life.
Korg was awesome.
And also Meek.
Yes. Hopefully they're alive. Because later on Thor says he killed half of the Asgardians, or half of my species, or something like that.
Mm.
So it's really hard to say.
So in theory, he left them alive or whatever, I guess. But ow, sorry.
You grabbing my claws?
I'm grabbing your claws.
Okay then. So so the beginning scene, he's on the ship, killed a bunch of Asgardians.
I thought we weren't gonna go over the plot because they already know it, because they've already seen it.
Oh, but so the whole first scene is Thanos having Thor's head.
Oh wait, I was trying to make a point here.
Oh, well, make your point.
Okay, my point, just a very minor nitpick kind of a thing. Oh yeah, do you like these claws? They're super cool.
They're mine.
A swishy swish.
And they're metal.
My point is that, again, very minor kind of a nitpick, but I just found it mildly repetitive to have basically the same conflict play out like 4 times in the movie. That
give me the stone or he dies.
Yeah.
Give me the stone, she dies.
Because like none of them actually realize how much weight giving him an Infinity Stone would have, and they're just all like, who cares about the fate of the universe? I want to save the
Vision was the
or whatever."
only one who actually... Well,
Yeah,
maybe
Vision-
Doctor Strange, just because of the whole possibility.
Yeah, I guess.
But the main thing would be Vision. Vision's like the only one who actually did something to stop it. Because he has Scarlet Witch destroy the stone, because she's the only one who can.
Incidentally, I'm calling it right now, Vision is not dead.
Oh no, he he died in the comics, and he really wasn't dead. He was
Specifically,
turned into a program.
in the comics, I had not actually heard of this until earlier today. In the comics, there's this whole thing where he becomes like a white Vision, and he's like
White
all
Vision.
motionless and stuff. So
I actually have a comic in there.
Oh, there you go. But I'm willing to bet that's where they're going with that.
Because he turned gray after Thanos chunked him. Took the chunk out of him. You like my claws, don't you?
I like your claws quite a bit.
But Vision was the only one because he told Scarlet Witch.
Vision was actually willing to sacrifice for the good of the entire stinking universe.
He even done it throughout the whole movie.
And the Scarlet Witch was willing to help him with that.
Although she was hesitant at first.
Yeah, but he was all like, I know it's not fair, but you have to do it. And it's like, yes, you actually had the right idea. It was entirely pointless because he already had the Time Stone, but, at least
if he done it earlier. If they did it earlier in the movie before he had the Time Stone, it would have been fine.
Yeah, but again, plot reasons and stuff, they had to have a way that he could get all of them relatively quickly in a concise manner. Yada, yada, yada. And the movie was already stupidly complicated as it was, so yeah. I think we covered a lot of plot points.
Yeah, so Vision was literally the only one who actually stood up to do something about the stone.
Oh, so I was gonna say, what was there anything in the movie that you particularly didn't like or thought that could have been done better?
The whole movie again goes on a bunch of different stories or something like that, and they go on different paths throughout the whole movie. Because Thor's going to Thor's going to try to get his.
No, put it on. We're now Claw Bros.
So Thor is going with Rocket and Groot to get his new hammer. So that's their mission.
You got the Thor subplot. You got the Iron Man, Spider-Man subplot. You've got the
Guardians going to
the Guardians subplot. You've got the
Gamora and Thanos.
Earth Avengers subplot. You have the on Earth Vision subplot, and eventually these all do work their way into a single thing. But dang, keeping track of all those all at once, especially if you're not that familiar with the source material, is going to be very, very
difficult to catch on.
I mean, it is impressive how concise they were able to get with what they had to work with, but there's no denying it was, even for someone who's seen it, a little bit hard to follow at times, which is why it does actually benefit from a second viewing, in my opinion.
That tends to happen when you see a movie a second time.
Well, especially
in theaters or on DVD.
But especially for one like this, where there's a lot of different stuff going on, and
you need the second
it's
time.
all just dumped on you at once, and you can't really pick every thread apart on the first time.
So you kind of need the second time. That's a good thing about our theater that we go to is on Tuesdays they've got a $5 deal where the tickets are only $5.
Yeah, then you can go and get tacos at Taco Tuesday afterwards. Woohoo!
It was good.
So yeah.
It definitely needs the second time to watch it.
Yeah.
And again, you don't have to go out and see it again in theaters. You don't have to.
But definitely you'll have watch to see it again when you get a chance. Or whatever.
It has to be a way to see it a second time.
So I never got to describe anything I really liked about it. I would say, again, that death scene was the premier standout moment of the movie, and that it's easily the gutsiest ending to a movie I've seen probably in the past decade, honestly.
Yeah.
Well, Timothy made an interesting comparison when he said that the Avengers is what the Force Awakens, or not the Force Awakens, the Last Jedi, rather. The Infinity War is what the Last Jedi should have been. Because they did...
the bad guy winning.
Well, they did something very similar in that they took massive fan expectations and hype and whatnot and subverted what you thought was going to happen, but they actually did it well. They actually gave you something instead of just saying, "Oh no, we're not." It's like Last Jedi said, "Here's your expectations. We're gonna get rid of them and leave not much of anything in its place. Just a big old pile of who gives a crap."
I still like the movie. And James agrees. Better than Force Awakens.
Did we ever do a video on that?
No.
Okay. Well, we have to do.
You need to watch the movie again.
Well, anyway, but the Avengers does basically the same thing. Here's your expectations, a wish, but here is our better than what you were expecting results.
Yeah.
And done in a way that, while I wouldn't say it's never been done before, it's definitely not done often, and it's very rarely done well.
Yeah, it was done really, really well.
Mm-hmm.
And the way they ended off, getting ready for the credits, all they have is Thanos literally walking out of this.
Yeah, he just sits there and he sits down. He's like, "Then I will rest." And so he sits down and he rests, and he's just like
staring at the sunset.
And he's just
joyous music going in the background,
and he's just so obviously content because he's like, "Yeah, I did it.
I did what I was actually supposed to do."
Oh,
and boom.
Before we wrap up, one thing I did want to point out. I haven't actually read any specific thing. I could be wrong. I could be right. I'm not sure. At the end of the movie, or like right before the end, after everybody's gone poof and all that, you have this shot where Vision's lying on the ground without his gem. You know, Hulk is standing up behind him, and
Bruce Banner
in the Hulkbuster suit standing behind
Hulk
them.
was barely in the
who
movie.
was there? Black Widow and
War Machine, Okoye, and Rocket Raccoon.
Yeah,
Rocket's the only Guardian that survived.
And Thor. But specifically, you've got them all in that scene there, kind of, spaced out. And Captain America is just sitting on the ground, and he just looks shocked, and he goes, "My God!" But it occurred to me that scene almost. I still haven't exactly confirmed it or anything, but the scene seems to me to almost exactly mirror the end of the Avengers
movie. The first one.
When they do the whole thing with Iron Man, they think he's dead, but then Hulk yells at him and wakes him up, and Iron Man's like, "What happened?" And then Captain America sits down on the ground and goes, "We won." And the camera kind of pulls back, and the layout of that scene and the layout of the one from Infinity War are almost exactly the same, but in the first one they won. In this one they lost.
Yeah, they had not even close to winning. Mm-hmm. They lost.
Just that whole thing at the beginning. You don't know what it is to be defeated. While your legs turn to jelly and yada yada yada. And it's like, wow, he was 100% correct, and he 100% won, and they 100% lost. Yeah. And it's just
there's not even a competition where you have to actually look over the things to say, oh well, no, they're the upper hand. No, Thanos won 100%. No chance.
Yeah, and it is stunning how well they managed to pull it off, and just the fact that they wanted to pull it off in the first place. Yeah. So that is how you subvert expectations, not the pile of stinking horse manure that was The Last Jedi. But more on that later. Anyway, this thing's been going on for almost 45 minutes. Let's go ahead and wrap things up.
But, let's see. And even after Thanos did the whole flick, the snap. He looks weak. Like, if you pan back, we're watching the scene when he's actually sitting down. Yeah, you can see the scar on his chest.
He's literally limping forward. He kind of just slumps into his seat. He's got the scar on his chest. His arm, the gauntlet's destroyed. His arm is all burned up, and he just looks beaten down. Yeah, but then he sits down, looks out at the sunrise, and it's just like you can almost hear him just sigh in contentment. He's just like
he's all humble. He's humble with what he did.
Because again, it's like what would happen if he was a superhero, and he's being portrayed in the same way that a victorious superhero would be, and it is just utterly delightful. Oh yeah. And just the way he's portrayed throughout the whole film, he's not your average Marvel villain. It's kind of amazing.
So the whole thing, the question is how they're going to take place in Avengers 4, because the next two movies, there's only 3 movies. There are 2 more movies up until Avengers 4. There's Ant-Man and the Wasp that comes out in July, right? June or July?
Yeah, something like that.
This summer, and that happens after Civil War, before Infinity War. Yeah. Then after that, there's Captain Marvel, which happens in the 90s, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it takes
90.
place in the 90s.
In the 90s.
So I'm really
years
curious.
prior to the Iron Man movie.
I'm really curious what it is they're trying to set up between those two. I'm guessing something to do with the atomic realm or whatever they call it.
The
Miniature war, the Ant-Man world thing.
Microverse,
sure.
That's what it is.
Yeah, the microverse, and then
The
Captain Marvel and
cosmic
the more cosmic end of things. So I'm really kind of curious to see what those movies end up bringing up. So, but again, that's mostly just a matter for speculation at this point. So,
and plus they did show. I don't know if most people saw this, but did you see these photos? Some photos from Avengers 4?
Yeah, with the young Nick Fury and what's her face?
No, I wasn't talking about that. I was talking about for Avengers 4.
Oh, for Avengers 4. No, I haven't seen those.
Yeah, they released a few pictures of Avengers 4, and it's back in the back in the Battle of New York. Back in the Battle of New York, it's got Captain America back in his original in that suit, the one that Agent Coulson
I know.
said he made. Then it's got Bruce Banner, well, not Bruce Banner, but Mark Ruffalo in his CGI suit, as Hulk. Then comes the weird part. So some of you might think, oh, maybe it's just a past memory or something like that. No. It's got Ant-Man. Scott Lang Ant-Man in an updated suit with these glowing blue things on his right arm. I think it's his right, either his right or left. In that scene with the CGI Mark Ruffalo and the Captain America in the first Avengers movie. And not just that. You have Tony Stark, a older looking Tony Stark, in a jumpsuit looking suit. Not the one that's seen in that movie or in Avengers Infinity War. All together in this one scene.
I am very confused right now.
Yeah.
Alright, well,
there's theories going around that and also Tony Stark
takes him back in time by going through the microverse or something.
Something like that, because Tony Stark's got the same thing. He's got the same blue thing on him. It's like a wristwatch or something like that that connects to him. So there's theories going around that Ant-Man and him go back in time to the point in Battle of New York, and where Thor and Loki take the Tesseract back to Asgard. They warn him about Thanos, and saying that if you do that, that's not going to work because Asgard is going to get destroyed, and Thanos is going to take the Space Stone, anyways.
Yeah.
So that's one theory that's going around about that. But yeah, you could probably find the picture somewhere. They announced it.
Yeah, again, we really ought to save the rest of this for a speculation video, I think. Yeah. Yeah, you got me all confused.
Final thing for the end credit scene. Only one thing. Only one credit scene. Actually, while we were in the theaters on Saturday, the group we were going to was doing the end credit scene, and they're like, hey, should we just leave? There's rumors that there's no end credit scene at all. That it's just credits.
No, you charlatans!
And I leaned over, and I'm like, let's stay just in case. It's a Marvel movie, so you never know.
Well, heck, I think it was the Avengers first shipped overseas, but they didn't actually include the end credits scene until after it released in America.
So it did have one at the very, very, very end, after all the credits.
Nick Fury dies, Agent Hill dies, long story short, Captain Marvel.
Very specific.
Yeah. So, that's because this is like a 45-minute video. I want to wrap up. So yeah, Captain
basically,
Marvel, she's going to have a movie.
Marvel
Obviously has something to do with Nick Fury. They've released set photos of her with a much younger Nick Fury with 2 eyeballs. So maybe we'll get to know how he lost his eyeball in Captain Marvel. Anyway, so yeah, again, but as room for speculation, yada yada yada.
That will be for another video with David.
Yeah, I think we'll do one of those sometime. Actually, I think we might just bring Timothy along for that because he's got his own sets of theories. So
overall, we enjoyed the movie.
Yes, definitely. If you haven't seen it, go see it. If you have seen it, might as well see it again. It's a good movie. Bada bing, bada boom. I will leave you with one question though. If Thanos knew that Loki's scepter had an Infinity Stone in it, why did he give it to Loki, and then who would then lose it?
Could give him power.
Yeah, but why would he give that power to Loki? Why? What? I'm sorry. That seems like a kind of a massive plot hole to me.
I don't think they were actually planning that to be an Infinity Stone.
Because they literally said in the movie he gave you that scepter. So how would Thanos not know that there's an Infinity Stone inside of this scepter? And why would he give it to Loki, who had a pretty good chance of losing? I mean, maybe that's just part of his whole conquest thing or whatever, but it seems like a weird thing for him to do if he's trying to get the Infinity Stones.
My guess is they at that time they were going to do the Infinity Stones with the whole Tesseract, but what they could have been thinking is maybe not they were probably thinking about the
honestly,
Mind Stone being in the scepter.
Well, honestly, I don't actually know if they were planning on doing the Infinity Stones until later, because initially it was just the Tesseract, which is supposed to be the Cosmic Cube or whatever. I don't think the whole Infinity Stone thing came up until much later when they realized.
Dark World. That's what it was. Because remember in the end credit scene, he said, "Yeah." Because the Collector asked, "You already have one in your vault. Why not keep this one?" And then Volstagg or whatever his name is like, "You should know already that it is unwise to keep two Infinity Stones together."
I don't know, but however you slice it, I don't think that was originally their plan, but they kind of adapted it later. Anyway. So I will leave you with that. Why the heck would he do something as stupid as leave an Infinity Stone with Loki, who would just end up losing anyway?
Yeah. So I think this would be it. Hope you guys did enjoy the video. It's been a long video.
Very, very long.
So yeah, you got our whole review on it. A great movie. A few minor touch-ups they could have done, especially. And before we end it out,
honestly, I don't really.
This figure makes sense now. This figure, he's got two eyes.
Got two eyes and he's got a freaky axe thing.
That's just Stormbreaker. So, in the set, he has two eyes. Yeah. Originally, I thought it was a concept issue because LEGO gets their designs for sets a year in advance. So I thought, they probably didn't know that they were going to add